Hello, and welcome back to Inkwell Insights, the channel dedicated to exploring the vast ocean of knowledge contained within the pages of books, all in the pursuit of personal growth and a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. We believe that stories, both fictional and factual, have the power to transform us, to challenge our perspectives, and to ultimately lead us towards a more meaningful and fulfilling life. Have you ever considered the immense power held within words? Not just the power to inform or persuade, but the power to console, to inspire, to offer solace in the darkest of times. Have you ever felt the weight of untold stories, the silent voices yearning to be heard? And what about the stories we tell ourselves? Are they building us up or tearing us down? Have you ever wondered how a single act of kindness can ripple through generations? Or how even in the face of unimaginable cruelty, humanity's spirit can endure? Can beauty truly exist amidst destruction? And, perhaps most importantly, have you ever thought about the perspective of death? Today, we delve into a book that confronts these questions head-on. A book that is both heartbreaking and profoundly uplifting. A book that explores the enduring power of words in the face of unimaginable adversity. The book Thief by Markus Zusak. This isn't just another historical fiction novel, it's a masterfully crafted tale told from the unique and unsettling perspective of Death himself. It's a story of resilience, of the enduring human spirit, and of the transformative power of words to both create and destroy. Zusak's narrative voice is unlike anything you've likely encountered. Witty, philosophical, and surprisingly compassionate, even as he navigates the horrors of Nazi Germany. The book Thief stands out not only for its unique narrator, but also for its exploration of profound themes such as the importance of empathy, the value of human connection, and the insidious nature of hate. It's a book that lingers long after you turn the final page, prompting reflection on our own lives and the choices we make in a world that often feels overwhelming. But before we fully immerse ourselves in Liesel Meminger's story, let's consider the core theme at play: the power of words, and their potential for both immense good and devastating evil. In our modern world, we are bombarded with words, news headlines, social media posts, advertising slogans, political rhetoric. They swirl around us constantly, shaping our thoughts, influencing our emotions, and ultimately, impacting our actions. But how often do we truly pause to consider the weight of these words, their potential to heal or to harm? How often do we take responsibility for the words we choose to speak or write, understanding the ripple effect they can create? Think about the online world, a digital landscape teeming with opinions and arguments. How many times have you witnessed a seemingly innocuous comment escalate into a full-blown online war, fueled by misunderstandings and inflammatory language? Or consider the power of propaganda, the insidious way in which words can be twisted and manipulated to incite hatred and violence, as so tragically demonstrated during World War II. Consider also the young student, struggling with self-doubt, who is told by a teacher that they are not good enough. Those words, seemingly insignificant at the time, can linger for years, undermining their confidence and stifling their potential. Or the family member who constantly criticizes and belittles, chipping away at the self-esteem of their loved ones with each carefully chosen insult. Conversely, think of the impact of a heartfelt compliment, a word of encouragement offered at just the right moment. These small gestures can have a profound and lasting effect, lifting spirits and inspiring confidence. Take, for example, the entrepreneur who poured their heart and soul into a new venture, only to face a barrage of negative reviews and online criticism. These words, often from anonymous sources, can be devastating, leading to self-doubt and even the abandonment of their dream. Or the aspiring artist, whose work is dismissed by critics as lacking originality or talent. These words, meant to be constructive, can crush their spirit and prevent them from pursuing their passion. And what about the politician who uses divisive language to rally their base, demonizing their opponents and sowing seeds of discord? These words, carefully crafted to appeal to people's fears and prejudices, can have a devastating impact on society, fueling polarization and undermining democracy. Finally, consider the power of silence. Sometimes, the most harmful words are the ones left unspoken. The unspoken apologies, the unexpressed feelings of love and appreciation, the unacknowledged injustices. These silences can fester and create deep wounds that may never fully heal. As Elie Wiesel, a Nobel Peace Prize laureate and Holocaust survivor, so eloquently stated, "The opposite of love is not hate, it's indifference. The opposite of beauty is not ugliness, it's indifference. The opposite of faith is not heresy, it's indifference. And the opposite of life is not death, but indifference between life and death." Indifference, often expressed through a lack of words or a deliberate silencing of dissenting voices, can be just as destructive as hateful rhetoric. In the book Thief, Zusak explores this duality of language with remarkable sensitivity and nuance. He shows us how words can be used to spread hatred and incite violence, but also how they can be used to build bridges of understanding, to offer comfort and hope, and to preserve the memory of those who have been lost. The novel centers around Liesel Meminger, a young girl living in Nazi Germany. After her brother dies, she is sent to live with foster parents, Hans and Rosa Huberman, in the small town of Malching. Liesel arrives illiterate and traumatized, struggling to make sense of the world around her. But she soon discovers a refuge in words, stealing books whenever she can, finding solace in their stories. Hans Huberman, a kind and gentle man, becomes Liesel's mentor, patiently teaching her to read and write. Together, they create a sanctuary in their basement, where Liesel can escape the horrors of the outside world and immerse herself in the magic of literature. This is where Liesel finds her power, where she discovers the transformative potential of language. As Liesel's world grows increasingly dangerous, she uses her newfound literacy to connect with others, to offer them comfort and hope in the face of unimaginable suffering. She reads aloud to her neighbors during air raids, sharing stories that offer a temporary escape from the terror. She befriends Max Vandenberg, a young Jewish man hiding in her basement, and shares her love of books with him, offering him a lifeline in his darkest hours. Zusak masterfully portrays the insidious nature of Nazi propaganda, showing how words can be weaponized to manipulate and control the masses. He exposes the dangers of blind obedience and the importance of critical thinking. Through Liesel's journey, he reminds us that even in the face of overwhelming darkness, individual acts of courage and compassion can make a difference. One of the key ideas Zusak presents is the concept of words as weapons. We see this most explicitly in the Nazi regime's relentless use of propaganda to dehumanize and demonize certain groups of people, particularly Jewish people. The constant barrage of hateful rhetoric creates an atmosphere of fear and suspicion, making it easier for people to turn a blind eye to the atrocities being committed. This idea is reinforced through examples like Hitler's speeches, powerful and manipulative, swaying the German people into believing his ideologies. However, Zusak also shows us the other side of this coin, the power of words to resist oppression and to offer hope. Liesel's act of stealing books is not just a childish act of rebellion, it is a powerful act of defiance against a regime that seeks to control every aspect of people's lives, including their access to information and ideas. By learning to read and write, Liesel empowers herself to think critically, to question authority, and to resist the dehumanizing effects of Nazi propaganda. An example of this can be seen when Liesel reads aloud in the bomb shelter, providing comfort and momentarily diverting her neighbors' attention from the terrifying reality around them. Her words become a shield against the fear and uncertainty. Another key idea explored in the book Thief is the importance of empathy and human connection. In a world torn apart by hatred and violence, Liesel finds solace and strength in her relationships with others. Her bond with Hans Huberman, in particular, is a testament to the power of love and compassion to transcend social and political barriers. Hans's kindness and patience teach Liesel the importance of empathy and understanding, and he provides her with a safe and nurturing environment where she can learn to read and grow. When Hans shelters Max Vandenberg, a Jewish refugee, it's a powerful example of empathy in action. This act of kindness puts the Hubermans at great personal risk, but they do it because they believe it is the right thing to do. This act of compassion becomes an important lesson for Liesel, further solidifying her understanding of humanity. Furthermore, the novel emphasizes the enduring power of memory and the importance of preserving the stories of those who have been lost. Death, as the narrator, is haunted by the memories of the people he has collected, particularly those who have died unjustly. He sees the beauty and the tragedy of their lives, and he feels a responsibility to remember them. Liesel, too, becomes a keeper of memories, collecting and preserving the stories of her friends and neighbors. She writes her own story, documenting the events she has witnessed and the people she has loved. This act of writing becomes an act of resistance against the forces of forgetting, ensuring that the stories of the Holocaust will not be erased from history. Liesel's book, Saved by Death Himself, becomes a testament to the power of stories to transcend time and to connect us to the past. The book Thief isn't just about Nazi Germany, it's about the human condition itself. It's about the choices we make, the values we uphold, and the legacy we leave behind. It challenges us to examine our own lives and to consider how we can use our words to create a more just and compassionate world. Consider the habit of dwelling on the past, replaying old regrets and missed opportunities in our minds. This behavior is often rooted in a fear of the future, a belief that we are somehow destined to repeat our past mistakes. It prevents us from fully engaging in the present moment, robbing us of the joy and potential that lies before us. Imagine an individual constantly rehashing a past business failure, unable to move forward and fearing taking risks again. Liesel's initial trauma, stemming from her brother's death and her mother's abandonment, could have easily consumed her. However, through her connections with the Hubermans and Max, she gradually learns to embrace the present and build a future for herself, even amidst the chaos of war. Then there's the misconception of seeking validation from external sources. We often fall into the trap of believing that our worth is determined by the opinions of others, constantly seeking approval and recognition from those around us. This behavior leads to a fragile sense of self-esteem, dependent on the whims and judgments of others. Think about the social media influencer, constantly chasing likes and followers, their sense of self-worth tied to their online popularity. Liesel, in contrast, finds validation in her own actions, in her acts of kindness and compassion. She learns to value herself not for what others think of her, but for the kind of person she chooses to be. Another common pitfall is the fear of failure. We often avoid taking risks or pursuing our dreams because we are afraid of failing, of not being good enough. This fear can paralyze us, preventing us from reaching our full potential and living a life of purpose. The aspiring musician who never performs in public, fearing criticism and rejection, is a perfect example. Liesel faces countless challenges throughout the novel, but she never allows fear to hold her back. She steals books, befriends a Jewish refugee, and reads aloud to her neighbors during air raids, all in the face of great personal risk. Consider also the habit of comparing ourselves to others, constantly measuring our own lives against the seemingly perfect lives of those around us. This behavior leads to feelings of envy, resentment, and inadequacy. The young professional who compares their career trajectory to that of their peers, feeling like they are falling behind, exemplifies this perfectly. Liesel, living in poverty and surrounded by violence, has every reason to feel sorry for herself. However, she learns to appreciate the simple joys in life, the warmth of human connection, and the power of words. And finally, there's the tendency to prioritize material possessions over meaningful experiences. We often fall into the trap of believing that happiness can be bought, accumulating possessions in the hope of filling an inner void. The individual who constantly upgrades their car or their house, believing that these things will bring them lasting satisfaction, is a prime example. Liesel, living in a world of scarcity and deprivation, learns to value the things that truly matter: love, friendship, and the power of stories. As the philosopher Seneca once said, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. Our fears and anxieties often loom larger in our minds than they do in reality, preventing us from living fully in the present moment. Rumi, the 13th century Persian poet, reminds us, "Yesterday I was clever, so I wanted to change the world. Today I am wise, so I am changing myself." True change begins within, with a conscious effort to examine our own thoughts, beliefs, and behaviors. And, as Carl Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist, stated, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." We have the power to choose our own path, to shape our own destiny, regardless of the circumstances we face. And as Lao Tzu said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Have you ever truly considered the weight of your own words? Do you choose them carefully, understanding their potential impact? And what about the stories you tell yourself? Are they empowering you or holding you back? So, how can we apply the lessons of the book Thief to our own lives? How can we harness the power of words for good and avoid the pitfalls of destructive language? The core concept here is mindfulness, a conscious awareness of our thoughts, feelings, and actions. By cultivating mindfulness, we can become more aware of the words we choose to speak and write, understanding their potential impact on ourselves and others. Start by slowing down. In our fast-paced, hyper-connected world, it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of activity and lose sight of what truly matters. Take time each day to pause, to breathe, and to reflect on your thoughts and feelings. This simple practice can help you to become more aware of your own internal state and to make more conscious choices about how you respond to the world around you. Practice empathy. Make an effort to understand the perspectives of others, even those who hold different beliefs or values. Listen actively to what they have to say and try to see the world through their eyes. This can help you to build bridges of understanding and to avoid making assumptions or judgments. Choose your words carefully. Before you speak or write, take a moment to consider the potential impact of your words. Are they kind? Are they helpful? Are they necessary? If not, perhaps it's better to remain silent. Use your words to uplift, to inspire, and to connect with others, rather than to tear them down or to spread negativity. Seek out stories that inspire you. Read books, watch movies, and listen to music that celebrate the human spirit and promote positive values. Surround yourself with stories of resilience, courage, and compassion. These stories can help you to cultivate hope and to find strength in the face of adversity. Finally, write your own story. Keep a journal, write poems, or create your own works of fiction. Writing can be a powerful tool for self-discovery, allowing you to explore your own thoughts and feelings and to make sense of your experiences. By writing your own story, you can take control of your narrative and shape your own destiny. As Maya Angelou so beautifully stated, words are things. I believe so. I've seen them. Words are like living things. They tear holes in the soul. They patch up holes in the soul. Our words have the power to create or destroy, to heal or to wound. Let us choose them wisely, using them to build a better world for ourselves and for generations to come. Remember, as Gandhi said, be the change that you wish to see in the world. And as the ancient proverb goes, from little acorns, mighty oaks grow. In conclusion, the book Thief is more than just a captivating story, it's a powerful meditation on the human condition. It reminds us of the importance of empathy, the value of human connection, and the enduring power of words to both create and destroy. It challenges us to examine our own lives and to consider how we can use our words to create a more just and compassionate world. The core message of the book Thief is that even in the darkest of times, the human spirit can endure. Liesel's story is a testament to the power of resilience, the importance of kindness, and the transformative potential of words. It reminds us that even in the face of unimaginable suffering, we can find hope, we can find beauty, and we can find meaning. Now, I invite you to take action. Share this video or article with someone who you think would benefit from its message. Leave a comment below sharing your own thoughts on the book or the themes we've discussed. And, most importantly, try implementing one small idea from the book or this review into your own life. Perhaps you'll start a journal or make a conscious effort to choose your words more carefully. Even the smallest act of kindness or self-reflection can make a difference. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the book Thief. I hope this review has inspired you to reflect deeply on your own life and to consider the power of words to shape your reality. I'm incredibly grateful for your time, attention, and willingness to engage with these important ideas. Remember, we are all storytellers, and we have the power to write our own narratives. Choose your words carefully, live with intention, and never underestimate the power of human connection. Until next time, keep reading, keep learning, and keep growing. And remember, as Albert Einstein said, the important thing is not to stop questioning. Curiosity has its own reason for existence.